Friday. Friday happy hour. Let's get going here. Let's get going. Friday happy hour. It's here. It's here. Friday. All right. Okay. Um. Oops. I think I screwed up the audio there on that. All right. Well. Oh, am I muted? No, we're good. Okay. Still having some technical difficulties with the new Stream Deck. This is only the second time I'm using it. Oops. I've got my phone here. My stream is not showing that I'm live, but I see it on my phone that I am live, so we're just going to keep going. Um, I fixed my camera after 2 or 3 years that I've had this thing. I couldn't get it to record or stream in anything more than HD. I finally, yesterday, figured it out. Well, I didn't figure it out. Grok figured it out. I asked Grok what the heck was the matter. It gave me this whole list of things to check, and it turns out I actually don't even remember what it was that I did. I think it was, if I remember, there was a piece of software that was completely unrelated to anything that I'd ever used that I had to open to change a setting, and then all of a sudden everything worked, if I can remember right. But there were a whole bunch of things I did. Anyways, Friday happy hour. We've got Dave's coffee stout, and got a camera in a new position, trying it out. 4K, new position. Got some lighting in the background there. Trying the new lighting situation too. We can have we've got the red blue. We can go with just all blue. We can go all red. We could go a little cyan. We could go purple. We go red blue this way. We go red blue that way. I don't know. Just trying them all out. I think I like red blue this way because I don't know. I just like it. So we'll go with this, and let me finish pouring my beer here. So today I was going to talk about some AI stuff that I've been working on because let's make sure I don't spill this here. Because AI is, as always, it's very controversial these days, and I can't see anything on none of my stats or anything are showing up here, which is really annoying. So. Yeah, I'm kind of flying blind here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Yeah, this is all messed up. Yeah, YouTube. It's such a mess. Anyway, so I've been playing around with some AI stuff, doing some tests with some of the new models. I was playing with Higgsfield, which is a kind of a resource that lets you use all the different models. So you just have to have a subscription to that. And then you can use all the models that kind of are underneath that umbrella, which pretty much all of them. So you don't have to have a subscription to every single one of them because it would just be ridiculous to do that. So you can kind of try different things out, and you can mix and match different models. And what I thought I would try and do is take an old short that I had done and try and recreate it. And initially I was having some really, really good results. It was looking much better than what I had done. But to be fair, let me just back up a bit just to set the stage of what the original intent of the original short was. It was not really meant to be the best looking thing. It was just kind of, I was trying to go through the process of creating something in Unreal from start to finish. The entire process from coming up with the story, writing out a little script, blocking it out, designing the characters, making the characters, staging everything, doing the camera work, creating the shots in Unreal, setting up the sequencer, getting the render settings properly set up, getting them out to DaVinci Resolve with proper color management, going through the color grade process, going through the editing process, going through the mixing process, going through the dialogue recording, going through the sound mixing, music, final render, everything start to finish. So I just wanted to kind of get that done a couple times on a small project so that I could scale up to the bigger things I wanted to do. And I purposefully didn't want to spend a very, very long time on it. So I only gave myself 3 weeks, I think. Anyway, my beer's now, the foam is gone, so cheers. Got my Dean Guitars glass here. Couldn't help but pick one up. I don't have a guitar, but I do have the glass. Tasty. Not quite cold, but it's a stout, so it doesn't really need to be. So anyway, yeah, it was like, there's a lot of things on it that I wanted to do better. In fact, I've toyed with the idea of going back and relighting it and redoing it, because I know it could have been so much better. But, you know, it's one of these things where I just was like, yeah, just move on, forget it. But I thought it would be perfect for an AI test, because I could see, like, how much better, or would it be better if I used AI? Well, initially the images were a lot better. They looked really good. Then I ran into the problem, which is the typical problem with AI, and there's just no control over anything. So I basically hit like a showstopper problem where I can't get the shots I want, because there are some very specific shots that I want. Excuse me there. There's some very specific shots that I want to get, and it's impossible to, I do not know how to do it. And it's been one of the most frustrating processes, because, you know, the thing about CG is the entire pipeline for the last, you know, several decades, everything has been built to give you 100% complete control over literally every single pixel on the screen. Everything you have complete control over. The problem is that's a very complicated and tedious process, and it's very difficult for one person to master it all. With AI, it kind of does everything for you, but you just completely lose out on the control. So for this, since I had some very specific shots that required very specific camera moves with some very specifically choreographed action for the actors to, you know, performances to match the camera move, there's just no way to do that. Absolutely no way. So I kind of hit a stumbling block. I don't even know if it's possible, to be honest with you. So I kind of gave up on it for a little bit. I'm going to probably try and go back to it, but I'll show you the results that I got here, and you can take a look. And also, yeah, I'm not seeing any, just checking my stream stats here, and I'm seeing nothing. I know it's online because I can see it on my phone, but it's really annoying. So yeah, I mean, AI is, I don't know, it's constantly throwing me for a loop because of how powerful it is and how quickly it's advancing. But then sometimes I think, well, is it now hitting a plateau? Is it starting to level off, or is it kind of just this weird deceptive phase where it's going to start to skyrocket again? I don't really know what the upper bounds of this technology is, and I don't really know where it's going. It's getting to the point now where I can't keep up with it because the models are just coming out too fast. And they're getting better, but the problem is always control. There's just no control over what you're doing. And that's a big problem. That's a really big problem. Now, for short things where you don't really care so much, then you're going to be fine. But if you're like, you know, if I was trying to do client work or something and I was getting notes, I would have no way to address the notes because I don't have any control over what it's generating. And for me, you know, when I'm trying to do my own stuff, it's just frustrating when I can't get what I want out of it. So anyway, that's kind of been the problem. I'm going to show you I guess I'll show the original first. It's up on the channel. How should I do that? Should I show I guess I'll show the original. Let me pull it up here. I'll pop it up and hello. Why is, here we go. Hold please. So the other test I'm going to do, I've got some other ideas for some things that I want to do, and I might just start from scratch using these AI tools. And That way, like the problem is that I'm gonna be kind of guided by what AI wants to do or what AI can do, not what I would do. And I don't know that I like that idea, but that's probably the next test I can do. And I've got a short, actually. It's in my growing stack scripts here. Somewhere in here. Oh. What did you see? It's 12 pages. It's a little, I think this is done. I think I finished this. I wanted to revise it, so I'm gonna have to go back and go through it again. But it takes place out in the ocean, submarine, underwater. There's mermaids and sea creatures and sea monsters and all kinds of stuff. And I think that one would be a good candidate to just try and do all in Unreal. But let me pull up this. Okay, here it is. Is this it? This is it. Okay, I'll play this through. How long is this? 2 minutes, 13 seconds. All right, so I'll play the original. Let me put this up on my other monitor here. We'll go full screen, and there we go. All right, everything looks good audio-wise. I think we're good. All right, I'll turn off my mic and we'll just let this play through.
High atop a verdant hill, a young woman stood, silhouetted against the canvas of the evening sky. Her gaze was locked on the horizon, where the sun was performing its final act, casting an ethereal glow across the grassy expanse. The sun had begun its retreat, painting the sky with hues of crimson and gold. Yet for her, it was more than a sunset. It was a farewell to a realm she had come to love, the final memory she would carry from this world. Behind her, a golem, huge and powerful, stepped forward. His deep, powerful voice rumbled forth. "Come, little one, it is time. The portal has opened. We must go. We have delivered this world from the clutches of oblivion, yet many others still teeter on the brink. Their tale in this world had reached its conclusion. But beyond the portal, a multitude of adventures awaited. In distant realms, countless tales remained untold, waiting to be written. With a final glance at the sinking sun, she whispered a goodbye and headed towards the portal.
There it is. So yeah, so this was back in the day. I was using Midjourney a lot to like just, you know, one of the things if you're trying to make stuff, you're like, oh, what should I make? Oh, I don't know. I don't have any ideas. I would just start making these making these images with Midjourney, and you know, I just find one that looked interesting. And for some reason, like this one, I was like, huh, this is interesting. Like, what's going on here? And I just started to think, like, what would be the story behind this scene, you know, and how would what would I expand this into? And it was just like, you know, it's a sunset. I was like, well, sunset signifies the end of the day, the end of something, the end of a story. So I'm like, oh, well, what if this is the end of a story? And I was like, well, okay. And then the idea came together for this thing. She's staring at the sunset. This is like the end of her story. They've had this epic adventure. There's this big, obviously there's no portal or stone golem creature in here, but I just kind of came up with that idea and went with it. So anyway, that's what this was. And so I was really trying to, like, that opening shot was really trying to match this image here as closely as I could. And let's see if we go to that opening image. So here it is. It's, obviously not exact, was kind of close. So that was the goal behind this. I really wanted to just go through and do it as quickly as I could to go through the process. There's a lot of stuff in here. Like I said, I really wish I could do over again. I think like the lighting on her is a bit flat and stuff like that. But it was like, I kind of got like an overall lighting scenario that worked for the whole thing. And then, if I had more time, I would have gone through and lit every single shot and like beauty lit every single shot. But I only did like a quick pass on each shot to give it, just if something looked off or wrong. I just made some quick tweaks to each light, whereas, normally I would have spent a lot more time on it. So anyway, that's the background. And then I tried to redo it in AI, and I'll show you that version. Let me switch back to my camera here.
Voice rumbled forth.
And the other thing I did too was that I wanted to try, Suno's been getting very good, and I wanted to try and replace the music with AI music. And Suno's interesting. It's very hit or miss. To get anything good, you've got to do 50, 60, 80, 100, 200 generations before you land on something that's usable. So if you've got the patience to do that, and the thing is, like, I can't make music at all. I don't know anything about music, so I have to rely entirely on the AI for it. And like I said, it does a good job. Every once in a while, you're like, oh my God, that's not bad. But it's literally like a slot machine. You hit every like 1 out of 200 times or something, But the thing is, I figured out a way where once you do get something you like, I've kind of developed this technique where you can start to nudge it in a way that you start to get more usable things out of that. So anyway, I came up with a piece of music that I liked, replaced that. I started to add in some things, some dialogue, like the girl actually has a line now. I wanted to try and change some. Anyway, I'm going to play it. I'll let you see where it is now. And this is where I just got stuck. And there's a couple shots in there that are black and white, because they're and the black and white means that it's still using the old shots as placeholder, because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make these shots using AI. All right, so let's go back to so we're in DaVinci Resolve now, and let me full screen this guy here. Hopefully I'll get a good clean playthrough. And let me mute my mic again, and we'll give this a playthrough. Again, it's not finished, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish it unless I abandon the shots that are in here and just say, okay, I can't get those shots. I'll just settle for whatever AI gives me. I don't want to have to do that though, but just for the sake of this experiment, I might do it just to try and finish this thing up. We'll see. I don't know. Hold, please. I don't know why I just did a repeat thing there. Oh, I'm in deliver mode. Okay, let me go to edit mode. Okay, so that music you heard there, that was the new music. And it came out pretty good. And what I did was I generated several different versions of it and told it to do, like, give it to me with woodwinds, give it to me in strings, give it to me with a cello, whatever. And then as the mood changed, I kind of like mixed in between the different versions to kind of get like a changing, change up of the music to kind of match the scene. It didn't quite exactly hit where I wanted to every time, but it came again. It was part of the experiment. So let's go back to the beginning. Full screen this guy, and let's give this another shot. I'll mute myself.
High atop a verdant hill, a young woman stood, silhouetted against the canvas of the evening sky. Her gaze was locked on the horizon, where the sun was performing its final act, casting an ethereal glow across the grassy expanse. Yet for her, it was more than a sunset. It was a farewell to a realm she had come to love, the final memory she would carry from this world. Behind her, a golem, huge and powerful, stepped forward. His deep, powerful voice rumbled forth.
Come, little one. It is time. The portal has opened.
I don't know if I'm ready to leave. I've grown so fond of this world.
We have delivered this world from the clutches of oblivion, yet many others still teeter on the brink. They need us too.
Their tale in this world had reached its conclusion, but beyond the portal, a multitude of adventures awaited. In distant realms, countless tales remained untold, waiting to be written. With a final glance at the sinking sun, she whispered a goodbye and headed towards the portal.
All right, there you go. I was muted that whole time. Jeez. So I was basically just explaining how I can't get this shot here. How this black and white shot is just it's not something that I was able to get. And this was the closest I could, was this color shot here. But even here, like the camera goes, it starts to go too far, and the stone guardian golem guy isn't even in the frame. Now you can see, like, I was able to get a lot of consistency with the character and with my background and stuff, but that consistency wasn't consistent. So it started to slip, and you know, it was like, depending on how I was trying to stage a shot, it was hard to stage different shots and get the movement I want and keep the consistency. It was just very difficult. They're just really the only thing you can do is have a starting frame and then maybe an ending frame. But if you need like very specific moves in between, you don't have any ability to control that. So it's just really difficult. But the character, like you can see that the character looks very much like the character I had in the short. So and the way I did that was I created Nano Banana. Google's Nano Banana is very good at creating like style sheets. It can take one render. So I essentially gave it a bunch of renders that I made of her. And then I asked it to create a new style sheet based on like a more realistic version. And then I used that as that was what it drew upon to be able to create frames. I wish I could do that with the background. Because the background, if you watch it, it's kind of shifting. Like there's like, looks like maybe rivers in some shots, like here, but then there aren't, and there's no trees here. But then when we cut to like this shot, there's all these trees, and she gets very young looking here. She looks a little different. But I do like the fact that, I can get like automatic lip sync, that's nice. Stuff like that. Like I was able to make the creature talk, which I wasn't able to really do with the Unreal version because he didn't have an articulated mouth. So that was kind of cool.
I've grown so fond of this world.
And then she does that little smile at the end. Like it's like I don't want the smile. It's like it does these little things that you're like, no, don't do that. Can we do that take again without the smile? But you can't say that. You don't have that level of control. So it's just like you have to do another generation. And then it might not have the smile at the end, but then you might like the beginning of the first one, but the end of the second one, but you can't merge them together because there's going to be, it's really frustrating. It's very, very, very frustrating. So, but I was able to kind of redesign him, and I got like a cooler looking version of this guy, which was cool. But like all in all, I don't know, like these last few shots, I cannot get what I need out of the AI. And I guess I could show you before I finish my beer here, because once the beer's gone, the stream's gone. I got one more sip. This is a delicious coffee stout, by the way. I tend to go with the stouts in the winter, cold winter weather, and man, it's been cold for a long time. So let me show you a little bit, if I can. Man, when I lean forward like this, I get very big in frame. It's probably bad that now it's 4K. Okay, so let's so I'll show you some of the things that I was generating in Higgsfield. And it's basically, the key to it is doing images. You have to do all these images that then you generate other images from. And then you animate that and describe what you want the animation to do, and you cross your fingers and hope you get something that's usable. So let me, so here are like the images that I was generating from it. So you can see, I don't know where the images are for her. So, and I wanted to change her a little bit. I wanted to give her these leggings and give her different sneakers. So I kind of wanted to make some changes to her outfit, and I wanted to remove the graphic. So I kind of like, this was kind of the version on her that I settled on. And from here, I was able to generate like, I tried to make what they call Allura, which is I forget what it stands for, but it's basically you train the model to basically be able to output the same consistent character. And what it needs is like 20 or so different images. So I use Nano Banana to generate. That's what all these are. It's like generating her in various different poses, various different images, and various different facial expressions. Except when I tried to use this is like a tool that's specific to Higgsfield. It gave me, let me see if I can, it gave me this. Like what the heck? Like what, that's not close. So I stuck with the Nano Banana thing, and I would generate, here's like me trying to generate the images for shots. And you can see like this, I don't think I was using Nano Banana for this, but this just looks terrible. The set is very compressed. Like this is a big, wide, stretch of grass here between them and the portal. And, I'm trying to get the image to generate what I want. Like I'm trying to get the image to generate the proper framing. This just looks a mess. You can see, I think I was doing a multi-shot I can't remember. I was trying everything I could that Higgsfield offers, but like this distance here is way too short. It should be like 4 times that distance. I just couldn't get the image I want. I just couldn't get like here's a typical thing. All of a sudden puts 2 girls in this, two of the girl in the shot. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what the heck? Here's one. So I wanted to get that over the shoulder shot of, I took it off. I wanted to get that over the shoulder shot of the stone golem talking to her. And one of the reasons why I did that shot was because I couldn't make him talk. So I wanted to hide the fact that I couldn't do lip sync for him. But I tried to get that shot. And so I told it, like, give me an over the shoulder view of the stone guardian golem, over the shoulder looking down at the girl. And like, I got like this, like, what the heck? What even is that? Like this is the frustrating thing about AI. It's like, what are you doing? Here's another one. Like, what is he? She's facing the completely wrong way. I still don't know what's going on with him. Here's another one. It's just like, what is even happening here? Here's another one. The portal's completely different. We're on, he's not in the right place. Like everything is wrong. I don't know what happened to her. She looks like she's 8 years old or something again. It's just very, very, very frustrating. But I did get some, here's another one I tried to get of like her on the hill looking out at the grass, and everything's perfect except the guardian creature and the portal are like way off in the landscape when they should be behind her. These are the things that AI does. It's kind of like I swear to God, sometimes I think it's like just trolling you. It's like, I'm going to give you everything you want, but then I'm going to screw it up just this little bit. I'll show you what it could have been, but then I'm going to ruin it. And this is why this whole process was so unbelievably frustrating. But I did get some cool shots. Like this is kind of the reverse shot, which kind of looks cool. There's some cool stuff going on. So there are some like, this is more of like what I needed that shot to be. And, so it's just like I said, just getting the simplest thing, like getting certain angles, is hard. Like even you can tell with this shot, and if I go to this one, you can see there's a lack of consistency, right? I mean, both in the lighting and also in the landscape that's in front of her. You can see that the trees are not kind of the same. They're different, and that's just the way AI is. So it's a very frustrating process because for something to be at a high level when you're making stuff, that's not acceptable. Like you can't have inconsistencies like that. So anyway, this was the tool I was using. Let me see if I can go to some of the videos. So here is one of the ones I tried to get of him turning around. This isn't terrible except for the fact that she turned into some kind of monster. I don't even know what's going on with her here. And again, she looks like she's 8 years old or something. You know, or like, I don't know. It's just, but this is closer to the camera move I wanted. But again, it's like, if it gets one thing right, it gets another thing wrong. And then you do it again, it gets that thing right, but then it gets something else wrong. And again, it's like, oh, here's this part that you wanted, but I'm going to ruin something else. And so, like I said, I gave up because I was like, this is driving me crazy. But anyway, that's my little experiment with AI and trying to recreate this short that I had done, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish this just because, like I said, there's just no way to get those shots. I'll have to try and replace those with something else. Oh, we've got now I'm getting stuff. Okay, I see the chat that there's no sound. It's just coming through now. Hopefully it's fixed. Yeah, my YouTube feed here has been broken. It's like it wasn't. Now it's caught up, but it's been giving me issues for some reason. Maybe, I don't know if I don't have something configured properly, but it still shows that the stream is not even up. So anyway, that is about all I've got for this. So it's been a little bit of experimentation. This is actually from a few weeks ago. I've been working on this, and I put it aside because, like I said, I couldn't take it anymore, and I've been working on some other stuff. But I just wanted to go over this because I think it's been a good case study of what's great about AI and what absolutely sucks about AI. And what's great is it can give you some great looking images, and you don't have to go through the pain and suffering of creating everything yourself like you do in the traditional CG pipeline, where it's all very tedious and very complicated. And it's very hard to do. Here, it kind of does that part for you, but you just don't have any control over it. And it will just kind of F with you about what it gives you. And I'm like, oh, that's what you want? Okay, but what if I do this instead? And yeah, it's just kind of annoying. But, you know, it's like I said, it's a very new technology still, and it's changing constantly. And a new model just came out. Well, I don't know if it's out today, but Kling 3 just came out, or is coming out. And that the quality looks good, but there's still control issues. So I think the way this is ultimately going to be used is kind of a hybrid where it's going to have to be integrated with the traditional, like I guess like the you know, somehow integrated with the software that is used now, that gives you the control, but then is able to take, you know, like for me, the way I use it and the way I think it works best is generating the pieces with AI. You know, like I've been using it a lot. Like if I'm trying to build a set, like say a wizard's lab, and I just want a bunch of stuff on the shelves or something, I can just generate those models with AI. I don't have to sit there for a week and a half modeling like 50 different random things that are just going to be in the background. I can just have AI build that stuff for me, and I can focus on the more important things. And the thing that I do like about this, like what you get for free out of this, is like cloth sim. You don't have to do cloth sim. It's very good at stuff like that. It will simulate the clothing on her when she moves. It'll simulate her hair realistically. Like it, you know, it does stuff like that, like really, really well. But these tools that I'm using here, now the Comfy UI has like some control nets and stuff you can use. I've tried to use those, but then you're kind of limited as to the models that you can use. So it's kind of like right now, it's just, there's always a piece missing. There's always something missing in the workflow. And so yeah, it's promising, but it's still not there yet. And, you know, like I said, but I don't know what the upper bounds of technology is, and it's moving so fast that it could be, you know, all these problems could go away next week. Who knows? So anyway, that's the end of my beer, and I think that's the end of the stream. This is kind of the little AI experiment I've been playing with, and I will try to see. I'm going to jump back into this after I've taken a break from it and see if I can get those shots wrapped up. And there's some other shots I need to fix, and maybe I'll end up being able to put out a finished version of this, because that would be nice. But I'm not sure that's going to happen, because I'm not sure that I can. The thing with this is I don't even know how to go about solving some of these problems. It's literally going to be just like rolling the dice and hoping that I get something. I'm just going to have to get lucky, because I have no control over what I'm getting. I'm just going to have to keep rolling the dice until hopefully I get something that's what I want, or it's good enough, which that's not really how you want to be creating things. Like, oh, it's good enough. It's not at all what I wanted, but okay. That's no good. So anyway, that's it. That's my stream for Friday night. Yeah, got the, like I said, it's good to get the camera finally working again. Testing out a new setup here. Camera's in a new place. Got the lights going here. Got the camera in 4K. Still trying to get used to the Stream Deck here. I haven't used it too much. But, maybe next Friday, like I said, I haven't really had anything to talk about, because I've been kind of stuck for a while. And then I just thought, like, oh, let me just talk about this AI stuff. So I'm going to try and do these more often, but I always get caught up with stuff and get busy and then forget about it. So anyway, hope everybody has a great weekend. And that is going to about do it for this stream. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. All right. Good stream.